Hello, my friends. I'm Bee, and this is Bee's Intuition. Today, we're going to do a reading about what kind of new passionate beginnings are on the horizon for the collective. Okay, let's just dive right in. Please and thank you, Spirit. What kind of new passionate beginnings are happening for the collective during this time? Please and thank you. What kind of passionate new beginnings are happening for the collective during this time? Please and thank you. What kind of passionate new beginnings are happening for the collective? Please and thank you, Spirit. Passionate new beginnings. Thank you. Okay. Maybe this is a bit much. Maybe this is a bit much. Let's see. They flippy flued. They flippy dude. Okay, that's not too much. We can do that. Very interesting. Oh, very interesting. Ooh. We got an interesting reading here. My. Okay. Yeah, let me just show you. Starting out, we have the Knight of Pentacles. We have the Five of Swords. The Star card. Two of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles. This part is interesting. The Ten of Swords came out in this direction, as well as the Ten of Wands this direction. And at first, I only saw the Ten of Swords, and then this decided to show, and I was like, oh, we got two tens here, so 10-10 could be significant. But the way in which it came out like this feels like they're releasing these burdens. Somebody in this reading is releasing burdens during this time. Well, I guess we'll see when I clarify. Then the Seven of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Okay. I feel like something about you standing out is going to be happening. Let's just start clarifying, shall we? Starting out with that Knight of Pentacles. Please and thank you, Spirit. What is this Knight of Pentacles, and what does it have to do with a new beginning, new passionate beginning for the collective? Please and thank you. Okay. Let's see what we... Okay, clarifying that Knight of Pentacles. We have the Four of Wands, Eight of Pentacles, Nine of Swords. Bottom of the deck, though, the Empress card. I feel like that is definitely the collective's energy. Interesting that this... Interesting. This Knight of Pentacles is taking their time because although they would love to rush in to have union with you, they feel like they're a work in progress, or they have things in their material or physical life that they need to work on or further before they feel like they're ready to come towards you. Nine of Swords, maybe they're even overthinking about this situation, like maybe you don't feel the same, or maybe once they do all of the work in their 3D world that maybe you still won't have anything to do with them. Definitely feels like this person could definitely be overthinking this a lot, especially at night, kind of ruminating in it. So it seems like this Knight of Pentacles wants to have a new passionate beginning with you, but because they're in the Knight of Pentacles energy, and because that Nine of Swords is coming out, I feel like this person, although they would like to rush in, I feel like they think that that is not the best plan. And maybe that's true. If they do need to work on themselves a little bit more before they come forward. Yeah, especially because if they are... It definitely feels like they may be a little bit insecure as well, because if you're the Empress in this scenario, it feels like, yeah, they probably feel like they would have to have a lot of things in order in their life before coming forward, because that's what they feel like you deserve, is for somebody to be kind of perfect. And I don't think you demand perfection, but that could just be based around this person's insecurities here. With the Empress at the bottom of the deck and that really hitting me as your energy, I feel like you're very kind, understanding, very enlightened. I don't think that you are very judgmental at all. So I don't know if this person's fears are actually based in reality or not, but let's keep going because maybe this Five of Swords that I'm about to clarify might shed some more light on this person. Yeah, let's, what is this Five of Swords about? He's an Enki spirit. And what does that have to do with a new beginning? New passionate beginning for the collective. He's an Enki. Five of Swords, new passionate beginning for the collective. He's an Enki spirit. He's an Enki. Okay. I don't know. Oh, interesting. Okay. Clarifying that Five of Swords, we have the Nine of Cups. And then these cards came out like this. And I find that interesting because we have Page of Pentacles. Wait, other way. Six of Cups. 10 of Pentacles. Queen of Swords. You could have gone through some sort of painful attachment, it feels like. And when you got out of that painful attachment, you started to work on yourself, and maybe now you feel quite content with where you are and what you have. And maybe you even feel more content with who you are. There is like an opportunity to explore some sort of new beginning and growth here. This could have to do with somebody from your past that maybe you have good memories with. But something doesn't feel right about it to you. 10 of Pentacles. Maybe at one point you saw something being potentially that 10 of Pentacles, but it's like, I feel like you're suspicious now that that's a possibility. It could be that this is also speaking about somebody from your past that you had a new beginning with. Maybe you liked this person quite a bit. Maybe the two of your inner child felt safe with one another. And maybe you started to work towards this 10 of Pentacles energy. With this person. But now you're guarded. Oh, bottom of the deck. Ace of Wands, which is really about passionate new beginnings. I'm also getting maybe even a slightly solo energy. I'm almost even wondering if this Five of Swords is indicating somebody from your past that hurt you. You kind of had to grow outside of that connection when you moved on from that person, and you may have like built up a lot of inner confidence or abundance within you. But maybe this person was just a page, but you thought that they were capable of working up to the 10 of Pentacles. But now it's like, maybe that just never came to fruition, and Maybe you're even slightly bitter about the memories that you have with this person. Or like the memories you have are like bittersweet. Oh, okay. So this Ace of Wands is starting to slide off to reveal the World card underneath. You want to end a passionate cycle with somebody so that you can begin anew. So, okay, I think I see how this is clicking together now. Yeah, I'm just gonna say, this Knight of Pentacles, part of why they're overthinking this connection could be that they were this Five of Swords to you. They hurt you, but I don't even know if they were aware of how much they hurt you. And maybe you had to, maybe there was even a sense of struggle to try and rebuild yourself after this happened. And so that's probably why they are hesitating on coming in towards you, because they may feel that you're not open to them. It almost even feels like maybe you feel like you've explored that path and you see that it potentially is a dead end and it's not going to bring about that Ten of Pentacles that you see for yourself. And so you're maybe being a little bit standoffish with this person. And that might be completely valid, you know? You know, depending on how this person hurt you. Yeah, and then that Ace of Wands, it feels like you're kind of like wanting to do your own thing now. Because this feels solo, the world feels solo. There's something about you embracing your solo identity or your single identity. It could even be that this person maybe you were in a relationship with this person for a long time. And now that you are breaking free from it, you're finding your own strength, you're finding your own passions, your own abilities. Maybe you're strengthening your talents, your skills and stuff. Maybe you're focusing more so on your material world. You also may have found that once you release this person, you have experienced a lot of growth since releasing them. And so there could also be that aspect as well, where it's like, I don't want to undo all of that hard work that I've been doing to allow somebody back in from the past that may have mistreated me. You could also be coming up with a lot of creative ideas at this point that you really want to like explore, pursue, somehow bring into the 3D. And that could actually be very healing for you, I'm getting, but also like maybe very successful as well. Okay. Let's go on to the Star card now. Please and thank you, Spirit. What do we have for that Star card? In terms of what passionate new beginnings are going on for the collective. Please and thank you. Okay, so definitely if you flipped over. Okay. Anything else? No. Okay. So the first card to jump out for that Star card was the Two of Wands in the reverse. That's interesting. Then we have the Six of Pentacles, the Moon card, bottom of the deck, Seven of Pentacles. Something's not going according to plan, or maybe that's how you feel about something with that Two of Wands in the reverse. This feels like honestly kind of like a specific message here. I don't know if this is going to apply to everyone, but it's like, I feel like there may have been some sort of skill or area of focus, and maybe you even associated this focus or this skill or something with like your purpose. And so maybe you were planning on expanding through following that purpose, and it's like you're expecting some sort of payoff with this direction that you are pursuing. But the Moon card, you don't see the payoff, or it's like the payoff is like being hidden from you. And then it's like I see you kind of looking at this as like it's not paying off, or it's maybe taking a long time. This could also be calling you to be more patient when it comes to this thing. But I do feel like a sense of disappointment with that Two of Wands in the reverse, because I feel like maybe you've been making plans towards this certain direction and you feel like maybe it's your calling, maybe it's your purpose. You may have been planning for this to take off like quicker than it is. Or maybe you feel even like it should be paying off quicker than it currently is. Yeah, you could just be feeling really confused. Okay, so I think I understand what the message is here. It's like you may have some sort of investment or skill or occupation or just something that you feel like either really fulfills you or that it's like your purpose. And you have hope that it's going to pay off at some point. And so I feel like you've kind of planned for this, you've invested into this, and it's like now you feel like you're ready to receive from this thing that you've invested into. But for whatever reason, Spirit thinks that maybe now is not the time for you to receive that payoff quite yet, or maybe Spirit is just keeping that payoff hidden from you for now. Maybe it's in the works, but it's maybe going on behind the scenes. Like, I feel like there's some sort of greater purpose to Spirit maybe postponing this payoff for you. And maybe this is just for a lesson in patience when it comes to your investments. To teach yourself some patience or to practice patience. Because I do feel like the end, or not the end, I feel like you are coming into this success or payoff, but it just may not happen in the timing that you were expecting or that you were hoping for. And maybe eventually you'll kind of come to understand that and recognize that, but maybe right now you're a little bit disappointed and also maybe a little bit scared that it's not going to pay off and a little bit confused that it's not paying off. Like, it feels like, yeah, you may just be feeling like, it almost feels like a new passionate beginning that you, it feels like a new passionate beginning that you started to feed into, that you have been embracing, that you planned for, that you were hoping for success with and payoff. It feels sort of like a gray area. It's like you haven't reached your goal point quite yet, but I feel like it's on its way. But I feel like Spirit, it does feel like Spirit is trying to tell you something, or maybe trying to communicate to you about maybe why it's not the right time quite yet, or because it feels like there's some sort of lesson attached to this. And maybe, it could simply just be a lesson in patience that Spirit is trying to show you. But it feels like Spirit is specifically holding something back or hiding it from you for you to maybe gain some sort of lesson or maybe wisdom or knowledge or something like this. It feels like it's intentional, but on your end, living in a 3D reality, it may just feel kind of like a bummer because it's like, I really thought I would have seen a payoff in this investment by now. But I feel like Spirit is saying it's not quite ready, or it's not quite time yet. And so I almost am getting, especially with that Moon card, that Spirit may be almost wanting you to have some sense of blind faith in this investment. Like the payoff will happen. You just can't let your fears get the better of you. You can't let your confusion get the better of you. Because it is coming. It just may not be within your specific timing that you have in your head. And it could also maybe even be a lesson about releasing control over certain situations. Such as something like this, where the timing is just not what you wanted it to be. Well, I don't know. I kind of like that message though. Because like sometimes we just need to be reminded that just because we're not seeing the payoff yet doesn't mean that it's not coming. I think that's actually kind of nice. It pretty much is telling me that Spirit wants you to keep going and keep trusting in the process, even if you don't see things clearly, even if you're kind of scared. Trusting in the process may be very important for you. Maybe that's a car honking confirmation. Okay, let's go on to the Two of Pentacles. Please and thank you, Spirit. What's going on with this Two of Pentacles? New passionate beginnings for the collective. Two of Pentacles. Please and thank you, Spirit. What's going on with this Two of Pentacles? Okay, thank you. Honey. Okay, clarifying that Two of Pentacles. We have the Four of Pentacles coming out in this direction. And then we have Queen of Wands, Fool card, Nine of Pentacles, bottom of the deck, the World card. Wow. Something feels like a shift here. Honestly, the way in which this Four of Pentacles came out to clarify that Two of Pentacles, it feels like you may reach this point of internal balance where you're releasing your sense of control over timings of maybe gating certain things within a specific timing, or just like, this feels like there's like almost like a knowledge of maybe you were maybe holding tightly, holding tightly to something that wasn't serving you, or that you may have been feeling like you needed to control a certain situation. But I feel like this is coming into your unconsciousness, and instead of ignoring that this is something that you struggle with, I feel like you're actively trying to balance it out. Balancing out that feeling of needing to control things, needing to kind of have such a tight grip on things. And I feel like this sense of like trying to kind of become more fluid and less rigid, especially with your ways of thinking about maybe even material comforts or payoffs and stuff like that. Like it feels like you're like, okay, I know that I have these sort of control issues that I need to work on. So maybe I have to kind of work on grounding myself. Maybe I have to work on meditation, like things that actually help me kind of take a step back out of that frame of mind of needing to control everything, needing to hold so strictly to a certain set of rules or standards or timelines and stuff, and just release that sense of control so that things can actually flow much easier into my life. And it's like, I feel like when you start to acknowledge that, pay attention to that, work on that, I feel like that's when your new beginning is gonna begin. It's like, yeah, so maybe this lesson here is really a lesson about teaching yourself balance within yourself. You know, like maybe recognizing, oh yeah, sometimes I do feel like I need to control things that I don't really have control over, and it just makes me more angry, upset, depressed, you know? Because, like, we don't like when things don't go according to plan. It can definitely deregulate us. And so I feel like maybe it's about not having super strict expectations of any given situation. Yes. So once you lean into healing, maybe that need for control, and find a place of balance, you're going to feel much more empowered, much more okay with things, is what I'm getting. That's an interesting message. Like, you're going to be more okay with, yeah, because it's like that's kind of the point of having these times of lessons or practicing things such as patience and stuff, is like it shows you that, you know, maybe that timeline that you set up for yourself inside your head wasn't necessary. And it almost shows you that, like, you know what? The world isn't going to end if I have to wait a little bit longer for this blessing. You know, everything is actually working out exactly as it's supposed to. Like, there feels like this sense of confidence in the way of things working out for yourself. And I feel like you working on these parts of yourself actually helps you feel much more okay with going with the flow of things. And also, there's like something about embracing your passion, even if there's no payoff quite yet. Like, there's something there. Like, I feel like if you still, like, it feels like keep going even if you don't see the payoff, is kind of what I'm getting with that Queen of Wands for some reason. And with the Fool card following that, it's like maybe even kind of coming into these things with a place of enthusiasm. The Fool doesn't really know what comes around the corner or what is coming around the corner. The Fool has a lot of blind trust in the universe, and I feel like that could be something, you know, we kind of already tapped on that the universe could be, in spirit, whoever you believe in, could be sort of asking you to have sort of that blind trust, blind faith. Because it's like when you do that, I feel like the world opens up. And also the Fool has like this sense of adventure. So it's like part of your brain could be like, okay, part of your brain could be like, you know, I want these things to happen in a certain timeline because that makes the most logical sense to me and it feels like that's how it should be. But then there's the other part of your brain that's maybe like, if you don't know the exact time frame of when this blessing is going to come in or the payoff is going to come in, maybe embracing the excitement of that, not knowing. Because like you can be, there's like two ways to react to the unknown, in my opinion. It's like, well, maybe three ways. One is being scared, one is being excited, and then maybe the third is like being neutral. And I guess I personally am more of like I like to lean into the excitement of those types of things. And, you know, I guess it depends on you. How would you feel most comfortable interacting with the unknown? Would it be being scared and maybe even paralyzed with fear, not doing anything? Or would you like to be excited about not knowing, like it could happen any day now kind of way of thinking? Or maybe that sense of neutralness where it's like, I'm just gonna trust spirit, that spirit has this under control. And yeah, I may not have all the answers. I may not be able to see that end goal very clearly right now, but I'm trusting. And I'm just gonna be as neutral as possible when it comes to navigating the unknown. So I guess it really depends on what your personal preference is, but it could be that spirit is trying to encourage you to be a little bit excited about it even. And who knows, maybe that's going to cause you to come out of your comfort zone. And I feel like spirit a lot of times, especially if something is uncomfortable, typically it is associated with going outside of our comfort zones. And I think that spirit really does like to encourage us to go outside of our comfort zones as much as possible, because I think that's where we learn the most and we gain the most growth and we mature as people when we go outside of our comfort zones, especially when it comes to the things that are important to us, such as leaning into our what we find as our purpose, or what we believe to be our purpose in life, the things that we are passionate about, the things that we love, the things that we want to embrace in life, you know, especially if it gives you some sense of fulfillment. And it's like, as soon as you do that and you start either rolling with it more like relaxed or getting excited about it, Nine of Pentacles is really you getting that payoff. And there's something about you being solo. I feel like when this blessing comes in, you have done this for yourself. I feel like there's something here that is very important about you understanding that you have set yourself up for success. Nobody else set you up for success. It was your hard work, your dedication, your blind faith, maybe, you know, and that blind faith is probably one of the hardest things to do, you know, in a lot of situations. And through being courageous in that way of having that blind trust, blind faith, it's going to pay off for you, and it's going to pay off big time. And I feel like there's something about appreciating yourself for getting yourself there, because it's not easy. It's really not. And you're embracing it in the perfect way. Yeah, you're leaning into this in the perfect way that is conducive to bringing about that new beginning of abundance. Yeah, I feel like you're on the right track with that. And the World card again showing up. Yeah, I feel like this is all part of your enlightenment. I honestly feel this is such an interesting message. It's almost like, yeah, you may not see the end goal very clearly. You may not know what you're doing or where you're going, and it may be like very confusing or scary, but going through it is actually going to help you become more enlightened and help you on your spiritual path, on your spiritual journey to become the best version of yourself. Like, the lesson is not only just a lesson, but it's also going to help you become more powerful, more self-assured, more confident in trusting your intuition and trusting the universe as well. And also trusting in divine timing. Like, there's just a lot of growth for you that is happening with this experience. There's definitely something about you being spotlighted. Is that the right way to word that? And I don't even know if it's spotlighted in the way of like people in your 3D, but it almost even feels like spirit may be focusing on you in a very particular way right now. I don't know exactly how to word that other than that. Like, you know, it's kind of interesting in a way how it's hitting me, because it's almost like you may be leaning into your own passion projects, right? And I almost feel like this sense of spirit leaning into their passion project that is you. Like, does that make any sense? Like, I don't know, like, spirit, I feel like, I don't know, there's just something about what this means when it comes to you growing in terms of your spirituality, and it's all happening for the better, and you're all like, you're becoming more and more evolved and spiritually enlightened. And I feel like even if you have moments of hesitation or resisting or whatever, maybe roadblocks in your own mind or ways of thinking about this, I feel like Spirit is very proud of you because I feel like at the end of the day, you're still embracing it. Even if you don't have all the answers, even if you don't see everything super clearly, there is something that you are embracing during this time. And it could have to do with being in that flow state of allowing. And Spirit being incredibly proud of you. Yeah, that's really beautiful. Let's go on to the Eight of Pentacles now. Please and thank you, Spirit. What is going on with the Eight of Pentacles in terms of new, passionate beginnings for the collective? Please and thank you. Okay, let's see what we have. Oh, this is really interesting. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, so clarifying that Eight of Pentacles, we have Six of Swords, Five of Wands, Knight of Wands, Justice, the Magician. Okay. Oh, bottom of the deck, Four of Swords. This is weird. Because it feels almost like you may be working, on your passion projects, on your maybe creative endeavors or your career, things that are based in your 3D reality or that help give you comfort in your 3D reality. And then it's like, I feel like this could be somebody that's like attached to your energy while you're in that sort of state of really focusing on your own life and your own stability. Somebody's leaving something behind because it was nothing but drama. And what they want to go forward towards after they leave that situation feels like it's you. And they want to communicate how you've caught their attention. Which is so odd because I feel like you are not doing anything to get this person's attention, like, or at least not, yeah, like you're not, I don't think you're even looking in this person's direction. And so this could actually come as a surprise for you, it feels like, because yeah, this feels like it's gonna come out of nowhere, but with that Justice and Magician, it's gonna be intense. Those are major arcana. Like, this person's energy is probably gonna be very intense. They feel like they could provide you with a sense of justice in some way. The Magician indicates to me that maybe they see you as some sort of manifestation for them, that you would be maybe an ideal partner for this person. Oh my gosh. Actually, this is actually kind of a funny message because with the Four of Swords at the bottom of the deck, I feel like, I don't know, like there's like a sense of maybe ignoring this person. And maybe it's just because you're not in that frame of mind and you're just like focused on something completely different and you're just like, I don't got time for you. I got other things on my mind. I feel like you go silent on this person if they try to reach out to you and flirt with you. I feel like they have good intentions though, because that Justice card, they want to help you feel a sense of justice here, or maybe they had conflict with you in the past and maybe they'd like to make amends for that and balance the scales to help you two get along. If it is somebody from the past that you had some conflict or drama with, there could be something here about how they didn't recognize your value or your importance or something, and now they see the importance and um, the significance of this connection with you. But honestly, yeah, I'm kind of feeling that you could have had some sort of past with this person in some way. I don't know if I would go so far as to say an ex. I don't know if I'm necessarily picking up that energy. I mean, it is possible, but it's just not the kind of energy I'm picking up on here. But I think that even if it's not your ex, it's somebody that has kept you very much in your head and confused potentially. Maybe you've had to like lean on your spirituality to navigate your feelings for this person. Like, or you've like leaned into your meditation, your spirituality. Taking care of yourself, like taking a step back from this person. It feels, I mean, maybe it's even like you're kind of coming at this from a perspective of like, I need to maybe even take a step back from this to think about it. If this person has something that they want to offer you, or if they have an apology that they'd like to give you or something. I feel like they really do think of you very highly. And you're like important to this person in some way. They feel like a big sense of importance for you being in their life. It just, I don't know. This person feels kind of enthusiastic to come towards you, but I almost feel like you are just not as excited, and maybe that has something to do with how this person treated you in the past, or your connection with them from the past or something. I want to see what's underneath that Four of Swords. The Devil. Yeah, so this person has toxic tendencies, and that's what kept you stuck in your head. And that's why you have to take a step back from this person to really consider, because it's like, okay, is this person actually being real with me? Or are they playing games? And are they secretly toxic? Are they trying to like put on a facade of like, I've changed, or, you know, I've done the right things, now let's come together? And you're just like, but have you actually changed though? You could be very suspicious of this person. Maybe this is the person that you had to walk away from in order to focus on yourself and your own projects, your own purpose in life. Yeah, honestly, I feel like, again, there's something about you being single and on your own, but that creates a huge sense of peace for you. And it's almost like I have this beautiful solitude of peace, and I don't want anything to get in the way of that. I don't want anything to disrupt that. I'm honestly even getting like, you may have been feeling way more emotionally stable without these types of people in your life. And so it's like, I don't want to become emotionally unstable again, because maybe you know that's how you get with people. You know? Especially if somebody hasn't healed or grown or changed in the healthier ways. It's a lot of stress and tumultuousness, and maybe that's your past experience of relationships, and so you're just like, kind of rather not, at least not right now, because I'm in the zone, is kind of what it feels like. And it also feels like you're focusing more so on your passion projects and that payoff. Like that's really where you're focusing your energy on. And so it's almost like maybe you even see love or romance or those types of people to be almost more of a distraction from your goals. And so you're just like, no, I'd rather not, because I'd rather focus on the things that are actually going to pay off for me and help me go further in life and grow as a person. Yeah. I definitely feel like this sense of like you being kind of shut off to this person, even though they show up with a lot of enthusiasm, it feels like. Also, with that Magician card, they could be kind of like fantasizing about a future with you that may not be necessarily, it could be slightly delusional is what I'm trying to say, I think. This person's expectations of maybe your reaction to them coming in, or their expectations of the future between the two of you, or the picturing the future of like the two of you coming together very passionately. Like, yeah, and it's interesting because it's almost like kind of showing like the opposite end of your lesson, where it's like you're releasing control. This person probably also needs to release their sense of control over these types of things, because it does feel like maybe they do have slight expectations for how you're going to respond to them coming in, and you're not going to be responding in the way that they thought you were going to respond. And I think that could definitely throw this person off. Interesting. Let's go into the Ten of Swords now. Please and thank you, Spirit. What do you have about this Ten of Swords in regards to new passionate beginnings for the collective? Please and thank you. Okay, I'm gonna... That's way too many. I'm gonna take those back. Anything. Okay, let's see. Oh, wow. Okay. Wowie. Okay, clarifying that Ten of Swords. The Wheel of Fortune. Two of Pentacles. Two of Cups. Ten of Cups. King of Swords. Ace of Cups. Okay. And at the bottom of the deck, there is the Knight of Pentacles. So the Ten of Swords, the way that came out like that, you had a very painful ending, but somehow, maybe you gained strength through this painful ending somehow. Oh no, it was divine timing maybe? Maybe like in hindsight, it's like, okay, it was never meant to work out with that situation anyways. Like it had to come to an end in the way that it did in order for you to maybe move on or see something else or go towards something else. I feel like it definitely was destabilizing though at first, and so you're probably like, what's the point of this chaos? Or like, what's the point of me feeling so out of whack with this situation? But I feel like you're gonna actually be attracting your like divine partner. And it's because you're no longer attached to somebody here. And this is like Two of Cups followed by the Ten of Cups. Like that's some serious love, commitment, partnership, happily ever after, very much. King of Swords, and then that's followed by the Ace of Cups. This actually feels like maybe this King of Swords could be opening up to you. And I find that interesting because usually the King of Swords is not super emotionally based. This feels like it could be somebody that's very much trying to be confident, or actually it feels a little bit like they're trying to get out of their comfort zone. Maybe they're comfortable with not expressing their feelings, but maybe you are important enough to this person that they are willing to open up about their emotions towards you. Because it does feel like this person has a lot of love for you. And it's interesting. I almost feel like maybe because that Knight of Pentacles is at the bottom of the deck and we had the Knight of Pentacles earlier, it could be that the person that you had a painful ending with in the past might have been this Knight of Pentacles. And maybe the new beginning with a soulmate could be with this King of Swords potentially. I'm getting a little bit of a feeling of envy. If you do kind of take off with somebody here, that sounds weird. I meant take off like the relationship takes off and it goes really well. With this person, this past person, this Knight of Pentacles that does want a union with you, but maybe a little bit scared how you're going to react. I think they could definitely get jealous about you giving your attention to this King of Swords, especially if all of this wonderful love energy comes with it. Yeah, it's almost like maybe this person could be what you wanted that Knight of Pentacles from your past to be, but maybe they either didn't have the emotional availability, vulnerability, Maybe they were too slow, not making enough effort or forward progress. But I feel like, yeah, it's like you see now why something had to end in order for something better to begin. I'm kind of curious to see what's underneath this Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, I want to see what's underneath this Knight of Pentacles. Four of Swords. Yeah, that's kind of hitting me as if this... I don't know why, but this Four of Swords energy just keeps hitting me in the funniest way possible in this reading. It just gives me such an unbothered energy. Like, it literally... I am honestly even picking up on maybe this Knight of Pentacles, like, almost was maybe a little bit cold towards you, cut off, maybe made you feel unimportant. And I feel almost like this sense of giving that person a taste of their own medicine. Like, it could have been that maybe you two were, like, attached in some way, and this person, like, kind of acted like you weren't that big of a deal to them. And so you left, and you're like, okay. And it feels like if they try to come back, or if they try to come back, try to make their presence known, you're just gonna be like, oh, who are you again? Or, like, maybe not even that, like, but maybe even more so of, like, oh, it's you. Okay, anyways, like, you know, just so unbothered. Like, I feel like you're kind of just, like, focusing on your own stuff, spending your time in a peaceful isolation. I feel like it's not a negative time of isolation at all. I feel like it's very peaceful and tranquil. And it's like, yeah, you're gonna just be so unbothered if this Knight of Pentacles tries to come back into your life. Yeah, I just feel like this sense of just being completely unbothered, unmoved, unimpressed. Just like, okay. Like, and it might even be, this is like a really funny energy, because it's almost like that could be actually really painful for this Knight of Pentacles, which I guess if they treated you badly, maybe, you know, they had it coming or whatever. But it's almost like the indifference hurts more than if you yelled at them. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's something, like, it hurts even more that you're apathetic or that you don't care. Because if you reacted angrily towards them, that would at least show them that you still care somewhat. But it's like the way you're coming across to them is just like, I am over this. I am, you know, not in my feels anymore when it comes to this situation. I do not care, you know? Interesting. And, yeah, because usually the collective that I tap into is actually very caring, feeling, emotionally available and stuff. So I feel like this could definitely be quite a drastic change for that Knight of Pentacles to see. Because maybe when you two were together or involved with one another, maybe they were used to you being super emotional, very sweet, very kind, very giving. And so, like, now it's like almost the opposite that they're seeing of you. And they're just like, whoa, maybe they weren't even expecting you to respond in such a neutral, apathetic way. And so they're, yeah, it could hurt their ego a little bit. Let's go into that Ten of Wands, see what that's about. Please and thank you. What is this new beginning that is happening? This Ten of Wands, please and thank you, Spirit. Ten of Wands, please and thank you. What passionate new beginning is happening for the collective? Please and thank you, Spirit. What passionate new beginning is happening for the collective? Oh, okay. This one, I say every single time, oh, this one's interesting, but they are interesting. Okay, clarifying that Ten of Wands, ironically, Ten of Swords, which we just had before. So double confirmation for Ten of Swords, and the way that it came out is the same way that the other Ten of Swords came out. So yeah, like, even though something was very painful and ended very painfully, I think it's for the best, and you're realizing this. And maybe you're realizing it's for the best because you realize how much of a burden it was. Maybe this was even something that when you were in that situation, or attached to that specific person or whatever the situation was, maybe you didn't realize how much of a burden it was. And now in hindsight, now that that has come to an end, you've moved on, you're realizing in hindsight, like, oh, this is for the best. This is truly for the best because, you know, it was just over. Like, it definitely felt like it was just a heavy burden on you. And you're like, now that that came to an end, even if it was painful, even if it was really tough to get through, a new dawn rises and I can begin again. Then we have the Seven of Pentacles upright, Seven of Wands upright, 2 sevens, so 777 could be significant, or just 7-7. Ace of Swords upright. Bottom of the deck, the Devil card. Why does this feel like in hindsight you see how toxic somebody was, but maybe when they were with you or you were connected to them, or it could be a situation that was toxic, doesn't even have to be a person, but whatever this was, you're realizing now just how toxic it was. Yes, like this Seven of Pentacles is really hitting me as like you looking back on this and being like, I don't want it to sound like you're judging yourself harshly, but it could have been like, wow, it was kind of silly to think that there could be growth that would come out of this situation, or that this situation would pay off in the way that I thought it would. It does feel like a relationship, to be honest, that just like wasn't really paying off or going where you wanted it to, or like it just feels like, especially in hindsight, you can see like this person just either was not the right fit, or they just didn't have enough growth, or they didn't show enough growth. Maybe they had potential, but they never really used that potential. And so it's like, I don't know, there's like this feeling of maybe a slight sense of disappointment, but overall a sense of clarity and acceptance about it. Seven of Wands. Why do I feel like when you were attached to this situation or this person, you may have actually been resistant, or not like, not even resisting, but like maybe more so distracted from your own goals, your own passions, the things that get you excited, the things that you like to work on, the things you're enthusiastic about. Like, I feel like there's something about you embracing your passions now. Also, this could be you also reflecting on just how much drama or conflict came up with this person. Could have been that this person was very argumentative. Maybe it always felt like you were walking on eggshells with this person. But it's interesting because it feels like you're gaining a sense of strength or power now that you're separated from this situation. So it's like you're looking back and seeing the conflict that took place with this person, but you're also seeing your own growth that's taking place now that you're no longer attached to it. It's like now you can actually work on the things that you want to work on, work towards the goals that you want to work towards. You can focus on the things that give you that sense of passion and energy and excitement and enthusiasm without the distraction of this person or situation, bringing you down, holding you back, keeping you distracted from your own goals. Ace of Swords, yeah, you just have like a completely different perspective of this now. You could also find that like now that you're removed out of this situation, your brain is much clearer now. Maybe your intuition is much clearer. Your sense of, could even be your sense of identity. Like maybe your ideas are flowing much like smoother now. There could be like maybe even some sort of creative idea that you want to pursue. Like, I feel like you're just like see things from a completely different perspective now. And it's interesting, I just looked over to the Devil card and it started to slide off to reveal the Death card underneath. So yeah, like you see this person as toxic and you think that it's probably better or the best outcome was for it to end. Because if it didn't have an ending, it could have actually gone, like I'm honestly even seeing maybe you got out just in the nick of time, or like before you really started to see this person's shadow side. Because like maybe you had an idea, but maybe you didn't really know the depth of the shadow. Kind of like, you know, you look at a puddle, you think it's a certain depth, but then you step into it and you're like, oh, this is deep. So it's almost like, yeah, I feel like you may have even had some sort of divine enlightenment that told you to leave the situation. Because it's like now you see just how bad this could have gone. And so you're like, yeah, this was best to end when it did, and how it did, maybe. Even if it was uncomfortable, even if it was disappointing, even if it was hard to deal with emotionally or mentally. And there's like almost this sense too where it's like the toxicities that this person has, like they can work on these things. It feels almost like this sense of like, and that's probably why you stayed so long or why you stuck around at all for this person. It doesn't even have to be a long time that you stuck around, but is like you could see the potential in this person, but I don't think that they either saw that potential in themselves or they never embraced that potential or tried to, like, you know, show up as that potential. I feel like this person could have been very aware of their toxic traits or toxic tendencies, but they almost wanted to ignore the idea that they had control over changing those things. This could be somebody that likes to blame other people for their issues. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm almost even getting like this almost vision of like what the future relationship would have even looked like. And it almost feels as if it would have been this person almost blaming you even for their toxicity. Blaming you for them reacting in certain ways. Blaming you instead of taking responsibility for themselves, for their own actions. And their own feelings, their own stuff. But yeah, I feel like you ended it, especially like at the perfect time in which it needed to end, and now you're seeing that much clearer in hindsight. But I do feel like this person could have definitely clouded and muckied up your mind, and maybe when you were with this person you were confused, you didn't see things clearly, you were maybe lost in terms of your own path or identity. And it's like now that you're out of it, you can just see things so much clearer. Maybe you even have like a more intense connection to the divine now, that makes you see things or think about things much more clearer. Yeah, and it feels like there's also just an embracing of passions and the things that drive you, the things that really do feed your soul. And that actually is going to pay off for you. It also could gain you some recognition. Maybe even by this person that you left behind. They could see your growth. They could see how you are, you know, maybe glowing, sticking out in a positive way. Something about you being special, standing out against the rest. Now I think it's a good time for us to bring out the Oracle. See what the Oracle has to add to all of this. Please and thank you, Spirit. Is there anything else you would like to add to this reading when it comes to new passionate beginnings for the collective? Please and thank you. Anything that you'd like to add to this reading? Please and thank you, Spirit. When it comes to this, the collective's new beginnings and such. Thank you. Okay. So the cards that came out, we have Refusing to See, Shine, Heal, Feeling Alone. What if I get standing? Feeling Alone. And Master at the bottom of the deck. With the Refusing to See, I honestly feel like this could be somebody that you were attached to that is refusing to see either that something is over and done with, maybe for good, or they were like refusing to see what part they like. It honestly feels like this could be somebody that's not even like aware of how toxic they actually are. It could be somebody that's even in denial about how toxic they are. Maybe it's even subconscious to a degree, because it almost feels like they don't realize, like they don't, or they refuse to see the ways in which they are toxic and affect others. Yeah, it's probably, it's more intentional almost. Yeah. Maybe it is a conscious thing that they're doing where it's like, I don't want to look at those shadow parts of myself, so I'm going to act like I was doing everything right. Or, whatever. And it probably has something to do with their ego or maybe self-identity or something. Because it does feel like they're resisting the truth, which is, maybe I was toxic in this connection. Or I had my moments of toxicity. Or, they're just not learning anything. And maybe that's also where you're coming from, is like, you're refusing to learn. How am I supposed to work with that, It feels like you would be willing to maybe even work with this person if they showed that they cared enough to work on these things, but they just don't, it feels like. And you could just be done with that. Like, done with trying to make this person see those things, or done with trying to help them shine. This is actually hitting me very much like what we were just saying with that 7 of Wands. I think that you're going to be very much glowing, very much in your power, very much in the spotlight here. I'm pretty sure that this is the Sun card, or inspired by the Sun card, in the Major Arcana of the Tarot. Yeah, you're also just in such a brighter, lighter energy now, so definitely keep embracing that. Even if it makes people from your past feel bad about themselves, like, just keep embracing what you got going on, because it's beautiful. Heal. I like that he's breaking free from these chains. I want to say that this one is the Star card that it's representing. I'll have to check the book to make sure. But yeah. You've broken free of these attachments that were just dragging you down, holding you back. And you've been healing, working on yourself, growing. And it's showing. Like, it's so much... It's just so obvious, the work that you've invested into yourself compared to the work that the other person has invested into themselves. Because whereas you actually have invested, I feel like that other person... And then feeling alone. Yeah. I mean, this kind of sums it up, really. I feel like this is that person who is refusing to see their toxicities, is now they feel alone. And they feel like they're on the outside looking in when it comes to the connection. But it's like, they had their chance. That's the thing. It's like, they had an opportunity and they fumbled it, is really what I feel. And so, like, that feeling of, what is it called? Like, self-pitying, I guess. I just don't know, like, I mean, it's natural to have regrets when we've made mistakes, but it almost feels like this person, it feels like a victim mindset is what I'm picking up on, kind of. It's like they're refusing to see the ways in which they were toxic or, not ideal in this situation. And instead of taking that in, processing it, analyzing it, seeing the places in which they need to improve themselves, they're just now, I think, feeling sorry for themselves. Like, oh, this always happens to me. Why does this always happen to me? Everybody always leaves me. Everybody always leaves me on the outside looking in. Everybody blah, 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 you know, and it just is feeding more into their own narrative of being a victim. And so, yeah, they could be kind of ruminating in this feeling of feeling sorry for themselves. And it's not really doing anything for them. And it's not really helping them improve or, you know, level up in any way. It's just keeping them stagnant, and more than likely, they're going to just keep repeating those same patterns of behavior because they're not willing to reflect and look at themselves and find those, you know, areas of needing to work on those things. I don't know. Just feels like, you know, they're kind of just feeding back into that. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy, pretty much. Like, and it feels like a loop. It feels like a cycle. It feels like it's best that you're not a part of that. And now that you have removed yourself outside of that, maybe you will even become a lesson to this person. Maybe through watching you glow up and do your own thing and, you know, become successful on your own. Maybe it will help this person realize, oh, you know, maybe I should do that kind of internal work too, you know? The Master card at the bottom of the deck. This is kind of the energy I was getting, and I think this represents poop. I can't remember. Master. I know it is not the Magician card because that is manifest. Master. Master. Okay, I don't know what it's inspired by. I'll have to look at the book. Because my brain is just coming up with no answers. But Master. This was kind of going back into that message of Spirit kind of focusing on you and really being proud of you. I feel like Spirit sees you mastering your skills, your abilities, your spirituality, those things in which you've been really working on. You're mastering those things. You're becoming very... you could even becoming more self-assured of those certain parts of yourself. Even intuition and stuff, you could be mastering your sense of intuition and really leaning into that. There's also something about mastering your emotions here. And so I think maybe that could even be part of it. Is like, you know, at one point you did really care for this person that was showing these toxic tendencies. And so it's almost like you probably did really love that person. And so it's like, you know, though, that when you're only acting out of a place of love or being just purely tapped into your emotions, you're not always seeing everything clearly. And maybe you're not always making the best decisions when you're going just based off of your heart alone, you know? And so maybe you're realizing that you have to kind of master or control, or yeah, you have to kind of have that sense of control over that heart space so that you're not just giving your heart to anyone, and you're not just believing anyone, and you're not just like, because your intuition and your knowledge of a given situation is also important to keep in mind. Yeah, it's important to keep in mind when you're making those kinds of decisions. Okay, I'm gonna see the book now to see what that Master is. I know I've looked at it before, I'm pretty sure, but I just don't remember right now. My brain is just going completely blank. No idea. Let's see. Master. The Devil. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Which is kind of funny that is at the bottom of the deck here. Bottom of the deck here. Master / Devil. Okay. Yeah. And honestly, yeah, still kind of the same. Like you're protecting your heart because you realize this person's toxicities and that your heart is not safe with this person. I think you've realized that now. Also, those bars across the heart kind of looks like a prison cell. So maybe you felt almost trapped in this connection with this person, or trapped in a cycle, trapped in a toxic cycle. Yeah, like you have become wise to this person's toxicities or ways in which they may have even controlled you or the connection. I'm just gonna go check and make sure I was right with the shine and the heal. Yes, no. Yes, no, maybe so. Okay, so heal, the star card. Okay, so we were right with that. And then shine, shine, the sun. Okay, yes, so those were correct. All right, so this was a very interesting reading. But I feel like, yeah, you're on the right track. You may have people kind of in their feelings, kind of feeling sad. But I think you're doing everything right and you're on the right track. And Spirit, I feel like, is very proud of you. So, like, keep doing what you're doing and keep putting yourself and your priorities first. And I feel like you're on the right track to success and to your ultimate fulfillment and betterment. Yeah. Just keep cutting out those people that are, you know, either false or unwilling to see those flaws in themselves. I think it's very important for people to be able to see their own flaws. And also the people that are not just willing to see their own flaws, but work on those flaws. And I don't mean flaws in the sense of like physical flaws or anything that's superficial like that. Those flaws that really count inside of us, inside our hearts, inside our souls, inside our minds. So, yeah, honestly, I feel like you're on the right track and you're doing everything right. And Spirit feels like you're on the right track and doing everything right as well. Like they're very proud of you, I feel. So keep on doing that and you're gonna be good. All right, so that's the reading. I really hope that you enjoyed this. If it resonated at all, feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you subscribe, you can become part of the Hive Collective because my name is Bee. Bees live in the hives, and you can become an honorary bee, like me. We could be a little bee family together, okay? If you like my readings and you'd like to see more, be sure to click that bell icon down below so that YouTube actually notifies you next time that I upload. And thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate you, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye!